Let's pull back the curtain on this so-called learning illusion. Because once you understand why your old methods don't work, it's so much easier to replace them with something way more powerful. The techniques we're about to go through are built on decades of solid, repeatable research from some of the best institutions in the world. We're talking University of California, MIT, Cambridge. These are controlled, published studies. Our first major technique is all about timing. It's a powerful idea called spaced repetition. And the reason it's so effective is because it's designed to work with your brain's natural rhythm for building long-term memory instead of trying to fight against it. University of California found that students who just crammed for a test, a month later, they only remembered about 30% of the material. But the students who used spaced repetition, they remembered an incredible 80%. Same information, just a different schedule. The results speak for themselves. So how do you actually do it? It's surprisingly simple. Here's the schedule that research points to as being optimal. You learn something new, then you review it just 24 hours later. Then you do it again in 3 days, again in 1 week, and then one final time after about a month. Each one of those little reviews is like telling your brain, hey, this is important, and it helps lock that knowledge into your long-term memory. Now for our second big technique, this one builds right on top of the first one. We're going to shift gears from just passively looking at stuff to something much, much more powerful. Active self-testing. Researchers call it retrieval practice. Let me ask you this. You've just finished studying a chapter in a textbook. What's your very next move? If your gut reaction is to just go back and read it again, you're missing out on what is probably the single most powerful tool you have for making that information stick. And the answer is retrieval practice. It's the act of forcing your brain to pull information out of your memory, not just look at it again. Think of it like a workout for your brain. The struggle to remember something is what actually makes the memory stronger. A huge study from the University of Washington found that students who used self-testing scored on average 21 percentage points higher on their final exams than the students who just reread the material. 21 points, just from changing how they reviewed. That's insane. Wow. And the best part is, it's incredibly easy to do. After you study something, just close the book, put your notes away. Then try to write down or even just say out loud everything you can possibly remember about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. The effort is the point. That's the workout. Okay, so we've covered our 2 core powerhouse techniques. Now let's zoom through a few other really essential rules that help tie everything together so you can learn not just faster, but a whole lot smarter. Whoa, okay. Looking at this slide probably feels a little overwhelming, right? It's just a jumble of words, hard to process. Well, that feeling, that's exactly what happens inside your brain when it gets overloaded with disorganized information. It's called cognitive load, and it is the absolute enemy of learning effectively. Okay, that's much better. To avoid that brain-breaking overload, we use a few simple principles. Rule 3, multimodal encoding. That just means using multiple senses. Read it, listen to it, write it down. Rule 4, chunking. You break down huge topics into small, bite-sized pieces. Rule 5, strategic breaks. Seriously, take a 10-minute break every 50 minutes or so. It helps your brain process. And finally, Rule 6, reduce cognitive load. Just turn off your phone, remove the distractions. So we've got all these powerful principles: spaced repetition, retrieval practice, chunking. But how do they all fit together into a practical plan you can start using like today? Let's build one right now. All right, here it is, your roadmap. Step 1, pick one and only one specific topic. Step 2, chunk it. Break that topic down into small, easy-to-handle units. Step 3, study that first chunk using multiple senses. Read it, listen to a video about it, write notes. Step 4, immediately test yourself. Close everything and recall what you just learned. Step 5, put that chunk on your spaced repetition schedule. You already know how. Step 6, when it's time for review, make it an active review. Rephrase it in your own words. And finally, step 7, take those strategic breaks. Let your brain breathe and consolidate the information. That's the whole system. Now, here's a challenge for you. Don't just take my word for any of this. I want you to actually try this system. Pick one subject and use this method for just 1 week. At the end of the week, seriously compare how much you remember to how you used to learn. The difference you feel, that's going to be all the proof you need.
So what you have right now is basically a blueprint for a fundamental upgrade to your brain's operating system. It's not about being a genius. It's just about having the right manual. The tools are right here. So the only question left is, your brain's upgrade is ready. Are you going to install it?